I don't do magic, Morty. I do science. One takes brains, the other takes dark eyeliner.
Alright, so right here on my shelf, where this monitor is, this is where I want to start with my test bench. I want to put the isolation transformer and then like the power brick, that part of stuff, and power supply down here and run it to this outlet here, which is my only one on this side of the house over here, side of the house, side of the shop. So I'll have this here, and then I'll probably either open this up over here for the board work, and then I'll probably have more tools over on this side, and then I'll probably have like a little chair to sit on over here. I don't know. Let me pull up my chair and see how well it fits. But this is basically where I want to start it, and I'm going to use this monitor, even though it's got burn on it. And who cares? It's a newer monitor. It's in one of those reunion cabs. The chassis is up there on the shelf, so it works. I'm going to go ahead and cap it before I put it in there. But for today, I'm going to go ahead and start installing the power brick here, and hopefully we can get through to the power supply. But we don't need the power supply. Maybe we can go ahead and get it in and test a monitor or two and see how it goes. Stay tuned.
I'm Walter Day, the father of esports, and you're watching Matty Mo's Arcade.
And you know how long it's been since I played Whac-A-Mole?
I'm getting ready to attack. Fanny pack attached. Tokens are all stacked. Got the mallet in my grasp. Waiting for the moles, hiding in their holes. Scoreboard keeping tally. I'll be playing till they close now. Can't nobody beat my high score. You can't beat my high score. Can't nobody beat my high score. You can't beat my high score. I'm a mallet master, a single-fisted blaster. You can ask my baby, it starts slow then gets faster. I'm a record setter.
Sorry about the fan. I gotta turn it on because they are jamming music out there a little louder than normal, and you can hear like plain as day in here. So that should cover that. So no copyright crap going on. So this is what I dug out of the barn, or one of them. It is from a Pac-Man. It looks like this here went for the DC voltage. It looks like it had two 12s and a couple 7 volts coming out of it. I left it on here. Can always move it back over. I don't plan on hacking this up. It was already kind of hacked. And I don't think that this is going to be my permanent solution for this, but it will work for now. If you need to build one of these, Bob Roberts, if his website's still up, it's therealbobroberts.com. He's got a little write-up about how to build one of these and the order, how you want to run your wiring, and what the parts are named, and so you know how to order them, and you can do this for yourself. And this is what you find in the bottom of a game. You have to have one of these isolation transformers to run most of the older monitors. The newer ones, they actually have one on the chassis themselves right there. I think that's the right one for that one. Usually they're a little bit bigger. But so I have power to the wall here, and then this is the rest of the game harness here. It goes up to the light, the speakers, all kinds of stuff. I do believe that this goes to my power supply. I'll have to double check it. I haven't even really looked at that yet at all. And this is what I'm going to run to the monitor. Now I have a stack of K7000s right here out of all these to do, and I've already capped them, but I'm going to while I'm waiting on parts, I'm going to mix and match parts off of these chassis and try to get them going, at least try to get one going. It may not be perfect, and we might still have to replace something with the parts that come in the mail, and that's fine, but I'd like to at least have one or two done if I can get them done before we get parts, be ahead of the game. So this next thing I'm going to do is just see what kind of power connector we have. So this one just has a 2. A lot of times they have 3. We have 3 wires. So we have a ground wire too, which can always be, grounded to the chassis. But when you got it pulled out like this, we'll find a better solution for that. I'm gonna ground it a little bit better. All right, let's see what this junky guy's got 2. This one we won't be able to do much with. For right now, it's a parts chassis. Almost everything on it was bad, and it's also got a 2. So all the K7000s have a 2. And let's see, I got a couple more over here on the Donkey Kong we can look at. Perfect ladder set up already. And sorry if that fan is blowing on us. So this one's got this kind of Molex connector. And I plan on having some kind of an adapter system for this so that I can plug in multiples. And this one's the same way. So I knew that that one would be one that we would have to have. Sometimes they have like a, you know, an 8-inch cord hanging off of that, and I have a couple of those laying around that we might bastardize for one. That reminds me, I got some pins and stuff up here I wanted to pull out of the parts. So right now I am going to find a connector hopefully and wire us up to check this guy. Looks like it needs a hot on it, so I'm going to put a hot on it there, and if we have time, well, you know what? We'll go ahead and I'll get this set up over here. We can go ahead and mount this into the shelving unit just in case I run out of time, and then we'll work on the connector after that. All right, be right back. All right, so I got us a little area over here. Okay, my flash is on. It's not very bright. Thought it was gonna be a little brighter over here. It's like it went black in here all of a sudden. What's going on here? Lighten it up a little bit for me. Alright, that's a little better. A little bit too bright maybe. Okay, so I want to basically have this back here. Might want to have some room for that. But somewhere like this. And that'll give me a little bit of room for some tools or whatever I need. And I want the board kind of to be here, or maybe even directly in front of me. Maybe I'll work here. But then I can, we got the Mortal Kombat 2 board. The sound's not working on. We need to get back on that. So I need this to really have the board out in front of me. You know, I figured out a way to test it in the Donkey Kong, but that doesn't help me test chips and really get at the board and find out if what the problem is. And so before I go ahead and drill all this in, I want to go ahead and test it and make sure that I'm getting the proper voltage to the monitor before I go through all this. And you have to remember this came out of a Pac-Man, and so those fuse holders are probably shit. So I might take the ones that are out of here. I did test continuity on these already, and the fuses are good, but you do not get continuity across the fuse holder, and I don't even want to mess with that right now. So I'm going to check on this one and pull it off of here, try to find a good one there. Otherwise, I have some somewhere, but I'm going to dig something up before I mount all this in, so that way I can work on it over here in front of me where it's going to be a lot easier. So let's go ahead and do that real fast, and I'll do that off camera, get that set up, and then we'll test it together. Well, I only got one hand, so we can only do so much. I'll see what I can get done, and then just stay with me and we'll move through this. Alright, so I didn't put a connector on this, I just put the pins, female pins on there for now. So I'm not sure what connector I want to go with. I want to go maybe like a 6-pin or something so I can put multiples on there. And if we can see down here, I have my leads tied up to it. Let me turn this light on so you can see it a little better. Okay, so new meter, standing up on its own, backlit, working good. So I went ahead and left these fuse holders in there. I just gave them a little polishing, and they read a good continuity now. I would have shown you that, except for I just have one hand. So if I plug it in, if everything is wired, I didn't rewire this or nothing. This is just the way it was. All I did was just hook everything back up. So if I plug it in, we should be good to go. Let's see. Hopefully we don't blow a fuse in my face. And nothing. So probably something is not soldered in all the way. I don't see anything smoking or anything like that. Try to wiggle some stuff and see if the voltage jumps. Alright, let's Let's move our meter off of that. Those aren't putting anything out. Let's check at the fuse. Alright, here. I don't know if I can do this one-handed or not. Alright, hang on one second. I'm going to check this on the fuse and then I'll be right back. Well, I am out of time and out of luck. I did find there's a ground wire that's loose here. There is some stripping action going on here. Some bad solder going on over here. So I'm just going to have to open up all these wires and really track this down and figure out why it's not going through. We have some brown comes in here and both comes from this side of the harness, which is weird. So I don't know, maybe I'm gonna have to look at Bob Roberts stuff myself, but stick around. We will continue on this tomorrow, and I got to get this going. We have all of these monitors to do and they're not getting done by themselves. All right, we'll see you next time. So these two right here are going to be ground and 5 volts. So what do we get here? Did I not turn the game on? I didn't turn the game on. I guess that would help. Hang on.
Here it is. A nice little trade. The person I traded got what they wanted. I got what I wanted. And a pretty good deal on it too. Super hang on.
What I want.
That comes later.
Yeah.
Okay. It's on fire.
Whoa.
Lots of smoke.
Well, that's bad.
Yeah, well, thanks for watching.
When you take care of people, people take care of you in this community.
That's the truth.
So everyone, please remember that. Even if we're competitors, we're not enemies.